How cute. Car accident together. Woohoo. Hello my shawty baes, hello my besties. It is currently Saturday night, and what better thing would I have to be doing than telling you guys about some of my favorite dark romances? I'll wait. Yeah, absolutely fucking nothing. Here we are. Okay, so I got a comment from lovely bestie Shannon. This is one of the shawty baes that literally comments on all of my things. So immediately her wish is my command, okay? She asked me to make a dark romance video. So that is what I am here to do. Basically, this is gonna be an ultimate guide to dark romance, okay? I have several dark romances in front of me right here. Some are my favorites, some I enjoyed. Are there any of these that I didn't like? No, I actually like all of these. Oh, how great. I'm the best. Anyway, I got a bunch of dark romances in front of me, okay? And I'm going to go through them and tell you guys which ones you should start with, which ones are super dark, which ones, you know, are a little bit stronger, which ones are lighter. Just basically a guide. You guys get this. That literally is what the title of the video is. A guide to dark romance. That is what I'm here to do. I am here to guide you. Just picture me like as your Obi-Wan. Young Padawan, come to the dark side.
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Don't be scared, okay? Let me start off by saying this. If you want to try dark romance, it's not for everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there immediately. Not for everyone. And for every single one of these books, search up your trigger warnings, okay? If you want to go, like, I'm pretty sure, I want to say Storygraph, but I feel like there's another website that you can type in a book and it'll tell you all the trigger warnings. So like, go and do that to make sure that you are okay with the things that happen in the book and that it won't make your mental health decline, because you know what? We don't want that. We don't need that. Our mental health is already always downhill, okay? We need to go get her up. You know what I mean? Dark romance is a way for a lot of people to explore different topics and see different things and have fun in a way that is, you know, responsible and safe. And that is why a lot of these topics are a little bit fucking out there. Like, some of these things are crazy. Like, some of them are like serial killer ones. But you know, I watch Criminal Minds. Does that mean I support murder? Absolutely fucking not. So none of these things are supported in real life. All of these things stay in books, stay in fiction. It's just a way for us to get out of our own heads. It's just a way for us to have fun with a book and, you know, go crazy with topics. Sometimes you just want to read a mafia romance. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't want to read a cute little rom-com that could happen in real life. You want to read something fucking crazy, something fucking out there that is insane, and that man would probably end up in jail if it was real life. But in the book, it's okay because you're just reading it. It's just words on paper. You know what I mean? So always remember that none of this stuff is okay in real life. Search up your trigger warnings. See if it's for you. Just be careful with dark romances, okay? Not for everyone. With that being said, I'm going to go tell you guys what I think you should start with, and then we're gonna get to I used to not be a dark romance girly at all. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I was very much just like, you know, like, it's whatever to me. And then I started picking up some dark romances here and there, like very little throughout my like reading journey. All of a sudden I discovered that I had so much fun with dark romances, and I just loved to not think for literally like 300 pages because I'm so fucking caught up in how crazy this universe is. So that's what dark romance is for me. It is a different thing for everyone. So that is my spiel for today. Let's start with drinking our, ta-da, here we go. We're alive. Okay, I'm gonna start with two books that, in my humble opinion, they're not dark romances. They are categorized like that in a lot of different places. So I guess you could call them that, but to me, they're not really. They're more so like forbidden and have heavy topics. And so I think anytime that a book has a really heavy topic, someone will say it's a dark romance. This is not that dark to me, but I think it's the perfect place for you to kind of dabble. So if you wanna like step your foot in, if you wanna put your little toe in the water and see what you think about darker topics and what you think about like forbidden and crazy books, maybe you could start with Sierra Simone. Like I said, I don't think this is a really dark romance. It's more still just like taboo, forbidden, but I do see what people are saying where it does have crazier topics, I guess. Basically, this book follows Sean Bell, and that is all you need to know. Sean Bell. Oh my goodness, this man is my religion. Let me explain. Wait, that's funny because this book is about religion, actually. Okay, this girl, she's about to become a nun, okay? She's like, I'm gonna become a nun. And so she asks her brother's best friend if he can like teach her a little bit about the fun side of life, if you know, you know, before she becomes a nun. And that is what he does. So this is age gap. This is forbidden. This is brother's best friend. This is also an interracial couple. It has a little bit of everything. And I think that if you're trying to see your limits and what you like and what you don't like, this could be a good start because it's not very heavy. Like I said, I don't really even categorize it a dark romance. So maybe start with Sinner. Saint is also an amazing one, but I grabbed Sinner because it was the first one I saw on my shelf. Saint is one of my personal favorites. The depression representation in that book is absolutely astonishing. Here's Saint by Sierra Simone. It's the third book in the series. Priest, I personally hate, but if you want to read Priest, You do your thing. You do your thing, little lamb. He calls her little lamb in that book, which is why I said that. Anyway, I'm not a good man, and I've never pretended to be. I don't believe in goodness or God or any happy ending that isn't paid for in advance. What do I believe in? Money, sex, Macallan 18. They have words for men like me: playboy, womanizer, skirt chaser. My brother used to be a priest, and he only has one word: sinner. Okay, sorry, I love Sean Bell. He's the only blonde man we accept. This next one is along the same lines as Sinner, where I wouldn't categorize it all the way as a dark romance, but it is very heavy, so it would be a good one for you to begin. It's Darling Venom by Parker S. Huntington. This, I think, is one of the best books ever written, in my personal opinion. I rated this 5 stars, and I absolutely ate it up. I loved it. I wouldn't consider it a romance, though. Like, it definitely has romance. Like, the whole thing is sparkled with romance, but it's so heavy and so deep that I can't recommend it to you as a romance in good conscience without feeling bad about it. Just beware, okay? I don't want to tell you anything about this book because I feel like nothing in the back really explains what this book is about, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but just know that it follows Charlotte, and she struggles a lot, and it follows her story. And there is a love story in it. There's also a friendship in it that you're gonna fall for. Your heart's gonna hurt. You're gonna cry. It is so fucking sad. It deals with depression. Please, 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 for this one, beware. But it is so good. I absolutely loved it. It still has romance and spice and stuff like that, but it just has so much more. You know what I mean? That I can't really say it's a romance through and through. It's definitely like fiction, I guess. Like it says, my first love ended in tragedy. My second began with his brother. Okay, so you got a little more forbidden action there too. Like I said, mental health. I loved the representation in this book with mental health. I love how they show depression. I loved every single aspect of it. I really don't have any complaints about this book. And like I said, it's not a dark romance to me, but it's more so heavier. So you can try it and see what you think, see if it's for you. And I'm pretty sure it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I might be wrong about that. I don't know why I said it because I actually don't know. When I read it, it was on Kindle Unlimited. Is it still now? We are unsure. So we're gonna move on. So those two are just like not really dark romances, but kind of getting there. Now we're gonna get to the ones that are dark romances, but I think they're very, very, very light. So if you are brand new to the genre and you wanna try it, you wanna see what it's all about, I think these are all very good ones for you to start with. First up, we've got my queen, Sophie Lark. This is Brutal Prince by her. I'm gonna just tell you about Brutal Prince, but the whole series, okay? This is the Brutal Birthright series. It is a mafia romance series. The entire thing is really good, but they're all interconnected standalones, so you do not have to read any of them in order. She also has the kids books too, so if you like read this one and you enjoy it and you want to see the kids, picture Hogwarts but like dark mafia. That's what the second series is. It's all these mafia kids who go to a school together, and it is chaos, it is fun, it is crazy. But let's talk about Brutal Prince for today's sake, okay? We've got Ada and we've got Callum, and it's dual POV, and basically it is a forced marriage. Like they are from different mafia families, I think, and then to come together, political reasons, what have you. I feel like every mafia romance has an arranged marriage for some reason, or like a forced marriage or marriage of convenience. It's always like, oh, our mafia families just do not get along. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna marry them. Like what? How does that help anything? But anyway, that's what they do. they marry each other. And so it's forced marriage, it's enemies to lovers. And when I say enemies to lovers, like actually enemies to lovers, so fucking good. Like girl tries to poison him. And I love that for her. On their wedding night. Are you fucking kidding me? What an icon living. Ada is everything to me. This one is definitely lighter dark romance. Like Sophie, I think, is the perfect gateway into dark romance. She is like the gateway drug. I don't know why I just said that about her. So if you're watching this, I love you. You're not a gateway drug. What the fuck am I saying? I think she's perfect for people that want to start dark romance but don't know if it's for them. Brutal Prince. Give it a try. Next, we've got the Darkverse series by Runix. I think this is another one on the lighter side. This is a series you do have to read in order. As much as Brutal Birthright is like interconnected standalones, these are definitely not. The first 2 books follow the same couple, and then the other ones follow different couples, but the whole story kind of remains the same and it starts building up on each other. So I would just recommend reading the entire thing. This is in 3rd person POV. I know, it makes you want to die. It made me want to die too. But I will say, once I got through like the first 100 pages of this book, I immediately just like forgot it was in 3rd person. That's how much I loved it. I have a vlog for the Darkverse series if you want to go watch it. I'm pretty sure it's non-spoiler. I could be lying. Am I lying? No, I think it's non-spoiler, so you can go watch it. Anyway, this follows Tristan and Marana, and it is again mafia kind of vibe. It is enemies to lovers. She is like computer hacking genius girl queen, and he is like a feared mafioso. Is that a word? Mafioso? Am I making that up? Mafioso? Mafia? He's scary, grr. And Anyway, Morana and Tristan are in different mafia families. You've heard it before. You're gonna hear it again. And she like goes into his domain to take something, and then they bump into each other and chaos starts from there. This is so good. I would recommend Dark Verse to anyone. If you are breathing and you have a heartbeat, please do read the Dark Verse series. I guarantee you will love it. It is the perfect start to dark romances, and it is so good. Just in general, just as a series, it is so fucking good. So many of the books in the series I rated 5 stars. I love them with my entire heart and soul. So Dark Verse, Runix, please read it. Now I have a fun dark romance. This is Sinners Anonymous. It is also a series. This is book 1. The rest are interconnected standalones. The other 2 though follow the same couple. So you do have to read those in order. But if you want to just read this one, you definitely could. The third brother is also getting a book. This follows brothers, with that being said. So this one has Angelo and Rory, and it's a dual POV, and Rory is set to marry this man that she does not want to marry. However, in a shocking turn of events, it's not Angelo. It's not the guy. Isn't that crazy? It's his uncle. She's supposed to marry his uncle. He's like 7 years old, and I think she's like 20 or something like that. So huge age gap. She does not want to marry this man, okay? But then one night at dinner, Angelo just decides he's gonna marry her instead. A lot happens in this book. That is pretty much the premise of it, okay? It is so fun. Is the writing the best writing I've ever seen in my life? No. But is it so much just chaos entertainment? Like all the characters are unhinged. You're not gonna want to stop reading. It's also very good if you're in a reading slump, I feel like, because you can just get through this so fast. I guarantee you will love it. It's probably not gonna be a book that you're gonna be like, oh my God, 5 stars, Larry. Thank you so much for recommending it to me. But it'll probably be like a 4 fun star. Fun star. It'll be like a I had a good time star. Not every book is gonna change your life. This is one of those. It's not gonna make you just want to rethink everything, but it'll definitely make you have fun. And that is what we're here for. Yeah, this is definitely one of the more entertaining dark romances I've read. Sinners Anonymous is the first one. What are the other 2? It's like Sinners Condemned, Sinners Consumed, something like that, and they follow the same couple. And the third brother's getting a book, and I'm so excited. I think that comes out this year. Yeah, Sinners Anonymous. Moving on. Next up, we've got one of the first dark romances I ever read, and that is Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Lowry. This is the Maid series. There are 3 books in this series, interconnected standalones. So we've got Sweetest Oblivion, The Maddest Obsession, and The Darkest Temptation. If I am not wrong, don't quote me on that. This is one of the first ones I read, and look at that. Can you tell I loved it? Look at all the tabs. I absolutely obsessed over this at the time. I haven't read it in so long. I actually don't even know what I'm gonna be able to tell you. I'm gonna try my best, okay? I'm pretty sure it follows Nico and Elena, and Nico is a made man. He is in the mafia. We love that. Are you in the mafia? And he's supposed to marry Elena's sister. Yeah, it's dual POV. It is so much fun, so entertaining. I definitely think it's on the lighter side of dark romances as well. Like, it is more fun and dark, but like without being too dark and without being too triggering, at least in my opinion. I don't remember all that much. I remember one gas station scene though that absolutely shook me to my core, that I loved so much, that I will never forget. It's engraved in my brain, okay? Nicholas Russo, he is fucking everything. He was my favorite in the entire series. I remember this book was specifically my favorite one. Most people's favorite is Maddest Obsession though, so you can read that one too. That one's really good. Definitely the darkest one I would say is The Darkest Temptation. It's right there in the title. So if you're gonna read the series, maybe start with this one so you can see what you think. Serious Oblivion, Danielle Lowry. That is all I'm gonna be able to tell you because I don't remember anything else. Next, we've got Emily McIntyre. I pretty much have read all of Emily's dark romances, I think. This is a Never After series by her. My favorite one is Scarred, which is why it's the one I picked up, okay? The first one is Hooked, then you have Scarred, and then you have the other ones that come after that. I really don't remember the other ones, but they're interconnected standalones, so you do not have to read any of them in order if you don't want to. It's basically retellings, fairy tale retellings, except it's the villain getting the story. This one is Lion King, okay? And you have, right there in the title, Scar. Yep, it's Scar's story. So she takes a fairy tale, she takes a villain, and then like flips it and gets them to have their happy endings. So it is so fun. It's so unique. It's unlike anything I've seen before. And it's definitely a good start to dark romances because they're not that dark and they're very fast paced. This one's definitely like more on the slow burn side. I think that's why I love it so much. But if you read like Hooked, for instance, that one follows Captain Hook, and it's so quick, which is why the endings are like a little upsetting to me because they're not that developed. But I think Scarred is the best one overall, in my humble opinion. Anyway, if you're into retellings, if you want to explore some dark romance fairy tale edition, these are for you. And lastly, on our beginners side, okay, we've got the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. This series is quite literally the only thing we can all agree upon, okay? We argue about a lot of things over here in the book world. We say one book is good, one book is bad, this author sucks, this author is great, I love this, I hate that. But this This is where we all come together. Anyway, the Mindfuck series, this is 5 books inside this series, okay? So like you literally have 5 books that are all 200 pages or less. Let me see all the titles. So you've got The Risk, Sidetracked, Scarlet Angel, All the Lies, and Paint It All Red. So if you're gonna read it on Kindle Unlimited, make sure you go in this order. Can you see that? I'm pretty sure you saw that. Yeah, I'm just gonna trust that you saw it. Anyway, this follows a serial killer. We love to fucking see that. The fact that this is on the lighter side is so funny. It's definitely not light. This is like not a light read. It has so many insane things, insane topics, and it is sad. Okay, I didn't expect this to be sad. It is really sad. I even teared up. I'm pretty sure I cried. That is what tearing up is. But you know what I mean? Like, I didn't like tear like a cute tear where you're like, I teared like, but in the best way, in the best way. The reason why I'm saying that this is like on the beginner's guide is because I think that this is perfect as the start of dark romances. I really, really do. Because there's 5 books, so you really get involved with all of the characters. It is not that insane, in my opinion. Like, she is a serial killer and he is an FBI agent who's trying to catch her. That is all you need to know. It's Lana and Logan, dual POV. Oh my God, go read it, okay? Like I said, it is very sad. There are topics in here that you're gonna be very, very like, what the fuck am I reading? I'm so fucking sad, but in the best way possible because Lana's so strong. She's literally one of my favorite female characters, I think, of all time. And I love Logan and I love their story and I love this book. So this series I think is a great start if you're trying to get a little bit more out there. The Mindfuck series, ST Abby. Like I said, everybody agrees with this. So if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Now that we have finished our beginners one, I'm gonna move on to my medium ones, okay? These are the ones that are a little bit darker than the ones I showed you before, but still not as dark as you can possibly get. First up, I have Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. This is everything and more to me, okay? When you open up this book, it's gonna scare you, because you're gonna see this content warning list and it is huge, okay? And it says things like CNC, breath play, choking, swallowing bodily fluid. What? I do not remember that. Needle play, pain play, fear play. I do not remember all of these. Okay, what I'm trying to say is the content warning list might scare you. And it did to me when I first picked this up. I was definitely like, this is gonna be too dark for me. It's not. It's really not. This combines perfectly a dark book with also a fun romance. Okay, get this. He's a demon. I know. You're like, Larry, what the fuck? What do you mean he's a demon? It follows Leon and Ray, okay? She's a college student. She's minding her business. She's living her best life, going to college. And she's obsessed with like making YouTube videos about paranormal stuff. So one night she's trying to make a video summoning a demon and she summons him. And they also live in a small town. It is a small town, dark romance, demon college student. It is so funny. It is so good. Like, she's hilarious. Ray she's absolutely zero chill and I love that for her. He is so romantic. He's so obsessed with her and it is so beautiful. I would die for this book. I rated it 5 stars. This is also part of a series. The first one is Her Soul to Take. This one. You should start with this one. Do not skip this one or else I'll be very upsetty spaghetti. Second one's Her Soul for Revenge and the third one is Soul of a Witch and it is a trilogy and I would die for it. Harley LaRue can do no wrong. I think this is an author that if you're trying to get into a little bit more of darker romances, she's perfect for that. Like, absolutely fucking perfect. Please. Next, we've got The Pucking Wrong Guy by C.R. Jane. This is also a series. The first one is The Pucking Wrong Number. The reason why I'm not showing you that one is because I think that one, the end of it is a bit too dark if you're just starting out. And I think this one is the perfect one if you're starting out. But if you want to read The Pucking Wrong Number, feel free to do so. I did, okay? And I had a good time even though it's fucking crazy. This one's the second one. And then the third one is The Pucking Wrong Date. They're all interconnected standalones. They all follow hockey guys. They all play hockey, but they're dark romance hockey books. Yeah, I know. It's a new genre I've recently started reading and it's absolutely insane and it's so much fun. These books are so unhinged, okay? Please don't expect these books to teach you anything. You're gonna walk out of this with just a good time. This follows Ari and it follows Blake and it's dual POV and he's obsessed with her. That's pretty much all of the books is the guy being absolutely obsessed with the girl and needing to have her at all costs. Things that they would probably be in jail for if this was real life, but it's not. So we enjoy it on the pages and on the pages only. He's obsessed with Taylor Swift, so we love him immediately. This was so funny. Like, this series is unhinged and hilarious. Like, the guys are all friends. So the first one follows Lincoln and he is really close with Ari. And then Ari and Lincoln get really close with Disney, which is the third guy. Well, his name's Walter, but like Disney is his nickname. So that's what we call him. Anyway, they even have a group text and the group text is so fun. The fact that they all like approve of each other's unhinged behavior is so fun. I think that this is a very good start to dark romance, okay? It's like, it's entertaining and it's fucking crazy, but also entertaining. I'll leave you with that. Speaking of Sophie Lark, yeah, we were most definitely talking about her. You argue with a wall, okay? There are no saints and there is no devil by her. This is a duet. I don't know why I only grabbed the first one because I didn't want to grab the second one, okay? Again, argue with a wall. I'll show you all if you want it. Right there. Look at that. Go argue with that. There Are No Saints is the first one. There's No Devil is the second one. You do have to read both in order. They follow the same couple, the same story. You can't just go into the second one. You're going to be hella confused, okay? It follows Cole and Mara, and Cole is a serial killer. And Mara, she's just a girl. And now you're probably like, what do you mean serial killer? She falls for a serial killer? She's just a girl, okay? It's just his extracurricular activity. It's not his full-time job. Anyway, these two are crazy in the best way possible. The reason why I put this one in like a second category and then I put Brutal Prince in the first one is because if you're gonna start with Sophie, maybe Brutal Prince would be a good beginning, but I started with this. I started with There Are No Saints by her, immediately hooked, okay? I read it so long ago, I do not even remember when I read it. Like, you know what, when a book, when you remember the exact feeling you had when you read it, that's me with this. I was in bed and I was like, oh my God, just came across There Are No Saints. Like, it was just randomly on my Kindle. And I was like, oh my God, that like sounds fun. Like, say no more serial killer, I'm in. And so I clicked it and I have not looked back since. I adore this book. I adore this couple. I adore the duet, the serial killer vibes, the crazy like story that they go on, the fact that she is just as much of a baddie as he is, the fact that their souls connect. Oh, I love everything about it. Oh yes, oh yes. Next we've got one of my favorite standalones of all time. It is Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. This one is dark in a different way, okay? All of these other ones are dark in like an unhinged way. This is dark in a sad way and in a, oh my God, this is traumatizing kind of way, but also beautiful. It follows Dean and Coraline, and it is a dual POV. Oh, all my tabs. I can't think about this book without thinking about sobbing. Look at all my tabs. I love this book so much. This was back when I used to tab books. I never do anymore, but I used to, okay? And that's why, because it's so fun to just look back and be like, oh, you're gonna be like, Larry, why do you want me to read that? Let me explain, okay? Dean and Cora hate each other. They have known each other for many years, but they absolutely do not get along. They're forced to be around each other. Why? Because Dean is getting married to her sister. Listen, okay, the circumstances, they explain themselves, okay? Basically one night, Cora is out with Dean and her sister, and then Dean and her sister go home and Cora like stays behind for a second. And she needs a ride home. And so she calls everybody. Nobody can pick her up. But guess who shows up? Dean. He comes to get her. And then they get kidnapped together. Yeah, so this is a kidnapping together romance. This is a very, very dark, very, very sad, traumatizing book in literally the most beautiful of ways. I think it was done so well. This is my first Jennifer Hartman book and it's still my favorite. 5 stars for this book. I will tell anybody to go read this one, but it is very, very, very dark. Like I said, in a different way than the other ones. It's not an entertaining dark. It's a sad dark. It's a, oh no dark, not a woohoo dark. Still Beating, Jennifer Hartman. This is a standalone, so you could just go right ahead and read it. Let me know what you think. Next, I've got a series that I only put the 2 books that I actually like in it. You can read the whole thing if you want. They're all interconnected standalones. I feel like there's a theme going on here, right? Like most series are interconnected standalones nowadays. But anyway, it's Kill Switch and Nightfall. This is part of the Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas. This is like not too dark, but it definitely is dark, okay? The first 2 books are Corrupt and Hideaway. I don't like them, so I didn't include them here. Kill Switch is my personal favorite. This follows Damon and Winter, and then Nightfall follows Emery and Will, and I love these 2. They are so thick, okay? You will feel like you are reading forever, but I personally ate it up, okay? There are a lot of people that don't like it. My mom hated Kill Switch. She was just so bored. Like, she loved Damon and she loved Winter separately, but she was bored throughout the book. I understand that, because these books go back and forth between like past, present, and there's a lot of backstory for no reason at all. I don't know why, but I still loved these 2. I didn't love the first 2. Do with that information what you will, okay? What you will. Okay, anyway, they're like about 4 horsemen. Okay, I don't know why they call themselves that. They are essentially like high school boys who cause chaos in the town. And that's the past chapters. And now the future with the present chapters, it's them after leaving jail after a couple years and they're like older and stuff. And that's essentially it. They are literally just like guys who peaked in high school. They're not doing much out there. It's not like they're in the mafia or killing people or anything like that. They're just kind of, you know, doing pranks. Like if I saw them in real life, I'd be like, okay, like what the fuck? Like compared to these other dark romance dudes, they're not very, very dark. So I think that this can be a good start for you. And then you see what you think. But Damon is still one of my favorite dark romance guys. I will say, I love this man. I really do. But these are just not that dark, okay? They're just not that dark. But maybe it's because I read it after I read a lot of dark romances. So maybe I just was already desynthesized. What's that word? Desynthesized. Anyway, so maybe that's why. But to me, they just were not that dark. But they were still very good. Next in our little medium category, we've got Cora Riley. I picked two of my absolute favorites by her, which is Twisted Pride and Twisted Emotions. This is part of the Kimura Chronicles series. I have a whole Cora Riley video where I read the entire thing. If you want to go watch that, non-spoiler, which speaking of, I also have a thing where I read both of these, non-spoiler as well, so you guys can go watch my journey. Cora Riley has like a fucking shit ton of books. There are like 17 of them that I read in that video. I just picked two of my favorites. These are just two that you can read them in whatever time you want. You can read this one first and then read this one. This couple also has another book that's called Twisted Bonds. You can read that one. You don't have to, but I would suggest it. Anyway, dual POV, both of them, and both of these guys are in the mafia, and both of them are brothers. We love. This follows Nino and Kiera, and it's an arranged marriage. Yep, as per usual. And this follows Remo and Serafina, and he kidnaps her from her wedding day. And he's like, well, you must come live with me now. You Tarzan, me Jane. I think these are so fun and so dark, but in a chaotic, entertaining way. I honestly think these are good starts. Like Cora Riley, I think is a good start to not only mafia romances, but also to dark romance as well. With all of that being said, I have some dark books here in front of me that I definitely would ponder to say they're on the darker side. To me, they're not even that dark anymore, but I definitely wouldn't start with them. However, if you want to, you know I can't be held responsible. You do with all of this what you will, okay? First up, we've got Dark Notes by Pam Godwin. Okay, this is a teacher-student age gap romance. It follows Emmerich and Ivory, and she is a music student and he's a music teacher. This is like obsession in the best way possible, and it's dark, but not the darkest out of the ones I have in front of me. So you could possibly start with this one. This is a standalone, so you can just go right ahead and read it. It's kind of long, to be honest, now that I'm looking at it. Like, it's 500 pages. I don't remember it being that long. But anyway, I really had a good time with this one. There's a certain scene that I fucking hate, but we're not gonna talk about her. It involves a cat. Anyway, I read this on vacation once, and I remember reading it within like a day. I just could not stop reading it. I really enjoy Pam Godwin's writing, so she does dark romance really well, in my humble opinion. Now we've got Miss Rena Kent. Okay, I don't think Rena is like the darkest thing, but I definitely think her books are not for everyone, which is why I'm including her in the last category. She has a lot of like just questionable things. Okay, things that you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I reading and why am I still continuing to read and why am I having a good time, okay? That's how I feel about her books. Now, a lot of people are like, where do I start with Rena Kent? Eventually, I'm gonna make a whole Rena Kent video when I've read all of her books. Let me just be the one to tell you this. There's like an order on her website. If you wanna go on her website, you're gonna see a whole entire order of where you should read her books and where you should start and all of that, because like these are the kids' books. So parents have books and stuff like that. I did not read it in that order at all. This was the first one I read. Or like I read one a long time ago and then I don't even remember it. But then this was the first one I read like recently that got me started with Rena Kent, and then I went back and started reading the parents. So you do not need to go in any order. With Legacy of Gods, I would definitely recommend reading God of Malice. So it's God of Malice, then God of Pain, then God of Wrath, then God of Ruin, and then God of Fury. God of Fury is my personal favorite, and God of Malice also. But anyway, this one's the first one, which is why I'm showing you this one. This follows Killian and Glendon, and what is even the plot of this book? This man is just like, I must have you. Yeah, I don't even really know what to tell you. It just says, I caught the attention of a monster. I didn't ask for it. Yeah. Right in the beginning, she already tells you, this book contains non-con, dub-con, suicidal thoughts. I trust you know your triggers before you proceed. So if all of those things are not for you, do not continue with this. The first 2 chapters of this book are definitely rough. I'm like, non-con is not my favorite thing. I will go ahead and say that. But 2 of my favorite books, one of which I'm gonna show you right now, do have non-con in it. Would I rather it not be there? Yes, but I love the story in the book so much that I just, you know, keep going, if that makes sense. I just keep reading and I still had a good time, but they're not my favorite thing. A lot of people love it. I don't love it, but see if it's for you, okay? Like I said, it wasn't my favorite thing at all. And in the first 2 chapters, I was like, ew, I don't want to read this book. But then as I kept going, I really ended up enjoying it and enjoying the universe and loving the stories and loving everybody in it that I forgot about those beginning ones, you know? So God of Malice, Rena Kent, one of my favorite books of all time. Next is another interconnected standalone series, and that is The Hockey Gods by S. Mastery. This one's definitely on the darker side. Okay, these are so fucking dark. It's not even funny. This follows Violet and Grayson, and he literally hits her with his car, and that's their meet cute. How cute. Car accident together. Woohoo. And then he flees the scene of the crime, and she is left there for dead. Yeah, this book is absolutely fucking crazy. I didn't love this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Brutal Obsession was not for me. The reason why I'm showing it to you is because it is the first one in the series. So if you want to go in order, you can read it like that. My personal favorites in the series are Fierce Obsession is my number 1. And that's the last one, but I also loved Secret Obsession and Twisted Obsession. Most people love Devious Obsession the most. So maybe try all of them, see what you think. The trigger warnings are very, very much trigger warning, okay? These books are so dark. And if I say they're dark, they're very dark, okay? So please remember that. And lastly, I think you know what I'm going to be holding up, but it is The Cat and Mouse Duet by H.D. Carlton. This is the first one, Haunting Adeline. The second one is Hunting Adeline. You have to read them in order. This follows Adeline and Zaid in his dual POV, and it is a stalker romance. So it is basically him stalking her and like must have her kind of thing. Again, it has very triggering topics. I am pretty sure she puts it in the beginning. She does. She says, a very dark situation, CNC, violence, human trafficking, disturbing situations. This book was previously taken down due to warnings. So please find all of them in reviews or feel free to message me directly. So she right there tells you every single thing. So if this book is not for you, do not pick it up. If you want to try it, go ahead. But then the one thing that I hate is when people read the trigger warnings and they know it's not for them, but then they go into it and then they don't like it. And it's okay if you don't like it. That's perfectly fine. You can rate it 1 star, you can rate it 0 stars, you can DNF it, do your thing. What I hate is when they turn around and they're like, why do you like that? And it's kind of like, well, I read the trigger warnings and I'm a consenting adult and I am reading what I want to read and I am safely doing it in my home, not hurting anyone, just reading my book and then giving you the information that you need to see if you want to read this book or not. So don't judge other people for what they like to read. You don't know why they like to read these things and it is none of your business, okay? That being said, this is definitely the darkest book in here. You've been warned, okay? All of these books I would say are 18 plus, every single one. Please remember that, 18 plus. Search up your trigger warnings. They're all so dark. I just do not want to tell you like, hey, are you 12 years old? Yeah, you can read this. No, you stop it. You read it if you're 18. Anyway, those are just all my opinions. Let's not forget that these are just things that I think. You do not have to agree. You do not have to read them. I just want to make this video for the people that want to get into dark romance. But again, it's not a genre that's for everyone. And it's definitely not something I want to read all the time. Like I do need my little fluffy ones in between and I do need my little fantasy ones, my little thrillers and stuff like that. So, oh my God, do you think I can hold all of these? I hope this video helped you guys. I hope that you leave this with some new recs that maybe you want to try and see if it's for you. And if it's not, that's totally okay. Like I said, we don't judge anyone over here, okay? If these are too much for you, that's fine. Like there's not a single shame in that. And if you enjoy these, again, that's fine. No shame in that either. As long as you're not hurting anyone or yourself, I really don't care what you're reading and what you're doing, okay? Let's remember that. We're a judgment-free zone over here. Okay, I'm gonna hold all of them. Are we ready? Ta-da! Okay, I love you so much, my Shady Bays. Let me know if you like this video. Let me know what else you want to see. If you want to see a part 2 to dark romances, do tell. Okay, I love you. Have such a good night.